thing.
What made you decide to come here and witness this?
I think it's important. I mean, you guys, InfoWars, Alex and the team are telling truth from the road as you see it. That's how I see my job too, and that's all I try and do.
Did you see anything from January 6th, the so-called siege on the Capitol?
Yeah, so I arrived into that. I arrived as curfew was called, and I was out on Lincoln Memorial with Trump supporters on the 7th, and they were very, very clear. There were two separate events. There was the MAGA rally, and it was like every MAGA rally you've ever been to. It was happy, it was joyous, it was a lot of great people. It wasn't until those people got home or got some kind of reception on their phones or turned on the news that they saw what went on in the Capitol building. Two separate events, both geographically and in time. The Capitol Hill riots happened 2 hours ahead of the main group at the rally. Very different events.
And we were actually there at the Capitol, and even at the Capitol there was two separate events going. There was basically a rally of peaceful Trump supporters at the Capitol, and then a few people went inside and started breaking things and causing damage. And the reaction has been extraordinary. Like, they've just been making it into the biggest, worst riot ever. And yet all summer long we watched 200 people get killed, cities burn all over the summer, and not a peep. So the hypocrisy is what's driving me crazy, and it's just hard to imagine that these people just believe everything they're told.
I think it's that. I think also, you and I are seeing it. We're in DC, it's perfectly lovely, it's calm, there's no one around apart from 25,000 National Guard, some of whom are sleeping in my hotel, which is quite exciting. But in order for the lamestream media to perpetuate the idea that this is domestic terrorism and we're all terrified, they're just replaying that riot over and over and over. I kind of want to ask CNN and others, could you not get some more footage? Could you not go and find out some other news? There must be some other news happening in America somewhere, you'd think.
Well, they just make it up. Today they announced that there was a bomb threat at the Supreme Court, and then a couple minutes later they were like, oh, sorry, that was a mistake, our bad,
Well, then there was the attack on the rehearsal for the inauguration, which turned out to be just a homeless lady who accidentally set fire to her own head. I mean, God bless her, but it wasn't anything like what they said.
None of this would be possible if it wasn't for the dumbed-down, brainwashed people that are just believing everything they're told. Is this the same over in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, if you want sheep, and no disrespect to good people, great Brits, but Brits are really, the king and queens of sheep right now. We live in a country where we're so locked down. It's illegal to leave your own home in the UK. We just had a 12-year-old boy yesterday, a child, commit suicide because he didn't see the point of going on any longer. We are utterly, utterly imprisoned. It's essentially an internment camp now in the UK. And as I fly back to the UK, I think there's going to be quite the welcoming committee for me there, because obviously I'm a very naughty individual for daring to live my own life and live free.
What do you think would happen on your return there? I mean, how bad is it getting?
I mean, it's an impossible situation. You're not allowed to leave your home. You're not allowed to go out more than once a day. Everybody's got to have the vaccination. There's a vaccination passport now if you've got to show it to go anywhere. And of course, I'm flying into all of that. I've got to have a COVID test to get on the plane. It gets checked when I get back. I mean, it's just the next level of imprisonment. And of course, we're also further down the censorship route. As you know, I'm often arrested because truth is hate speech in the UK, which means facts are an arrestable offence. It's why I've been arrested fairly often. But as you know, all of us on the pointy end of the spear need to keep speaking out to try and push back the walls for others.
Now more than ever.
More than ever, more than ever. And that's the one thing I would say. As much as there's a lot of doom and gloom out there, our side's a great side. 75 million Americans aren't going anywhere. We're much more than one individual. We're a movement. And I actually think we own the side of joy and light. And I remain really proud to be on this side.
I think it's more of a movement now than ever, now that Trump is out, because there was too many people that were just standing by thinking that this one man was going to be able to fix everything. And now there's a big wake-up call. I think a lot of people realize that that was foolish and that we need to grow up and adapt and realize that we're up against an ancient culture of evil that's been going on for all of recorded history, it would seem.
Yeah, I think so. The globalists, everybody who's suffocating our worlds, they say, the thing from the playbook is build back better, right? Destroy our economies, destroy our small businesses, build back better. And my news for them, is that our side is going to build back stronger. And I feel like that. In the military, I went through the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, which is like your West Point, but just, better. And I went through the academy, and we learned strength in depth, right? Which is that you're not just reliant on one leader and you're like this, you have strength in depth. And I think that's what we're going to come back with. You know, we've got DeSantis, we've got Kristi Noem, we've got Matt Gaetz, we've got Louis Gohmert. I've just spent time with Marjorie Taylor Greene. We're going to come back with strength in depth. And that's why I'm confident we are going to build back stronger than before.
I think Trump will be a better leader now, too, especially because now, I mean, if he doesn't fight back, I think his family's in danger if he doesn't.
I think so. And also, you know, we should say kudos to Melania. Cheekbones and boobs. Eastern Europeans every time. And today I just watched that woman and thought, doesn't matter what happens, doesn't matter what Biden does, he'll always be married to some short woman in dumpy heels. And Trump will always be married to Melania. And she rocked it today.
What are your thoughts on Boris? He seems to have been a big disappointment right off the get.
Boris has just been an absolute cockwomble. I mean, cockwomble is the appropriate word for Boris. Somebody got hold of his balls and castrated the man, I think. He swallowed the Chinese playbook hook, line and sinker. He's the one that's imprisoned the entirety of the UK, still can't take a shower or brush his own hair. He's married to an activist that I can't stand. And frankly, if I ever catch Boris Johnson in the street, that will be a day Boris Johnson regrets.
Nigel Farage, you think he's still willing to fight?
He's about as willing to fight as my mother-in-law, and she's dead.
So it seems like it's really going to be up to the people, and it's not just Americans, it's not just the UK, it's the entire world.
It's going to be up to me, darling. It's going to be up to Katie Hopkins, one-woman army, and believe me, I'm braced for the fight.
That is the right attitude, I think. It's up because I'm thinking the same thing. What am I going to do now? Because I think a lot of us are realizing now, especially like you said, those of us out on the tip of the spear, we are more in danger now if we don't fight than ever before, I think.
We are, but none of us, look, old age was never aspirational, right? That's not an aspirational thing for me. I say balls to the wall. You know, I'm already on extra time. I want to go out with some kind of bang. And so I'm up here leading the charge with you, with others. And I actually think this next little 2-year stint is going to be a really exciting time for us. And I'm quite looking forward to it, actually. And I'm disappointed there's not more stuff going on because we need that. We want the fight. We say bring it, I think.
I think that's why we love you, Katie, because of your attitude, your spirit like that, because I agree with you. I think the fun stuff is really now going to start. You know, now we're going to see who really is willing to fight and who really is willing to put their neck out on the line worldwide, I think.
I think that's right. And we do need to separate some of the wheat from the chaff on our side. We know there's a lot of grifters. We know there's a lot of people who are in it for the stage, who want to be the one in the limelight. We need people who are authentically in this, all in for the cause. And we need to separate a few of those out. I think we're separating them out quite nicely now.
Absolutely.
And that's a good thing.
Absolutely. That happened big time on the 6th, because on the 6th there was about 1 million people here, and it was astounding as to how many of those people just turned right away. You know, like after a summer of BLM, and then this one little event, a couple bad actors, and they just turn immediately on the whole movement.
Yes, started running. And of course, we see that already. There's a big lesson that goes on. We're seeing it with the hunting down of anybody that was there. You know, you've seen them around here on the bus stops, right? These pictures of people being called out. And of course, what they're trying to show is not only, well, if it was you that was in the wrong, we're going to come after you. We're going to put you on a bus stop. The FBI are coming for you. It's not just that we're going to remove you in your life. We're going to teach everybody else, every other Trump supporter, oh, you don't want to be like this guy. Get your head down. Stay below the parapet. Shut up. Say that you support Biden. And of course, that helps separates us out as well.
And that's a good thing. Like you said, I mean, there's a lot of grifters out there just trying to make some money off of this whole thing, and they're going to just wither away at this point.
When Trump was in power, how many of them would have blown Trump to get a pass to the White House? Loads of them. Half of them have got scuffed knees from like hanging around near Trump's crotch for the last 4 years. It's people like us that are standing up, that never tried to blow anybody, that are the ones that are going to take this forward. Separating wheat from chaff, good thing. Build back stronger, good thing. Strength in depth, good thing. InfoWars, Melania's cheekbones and boobs, good thing.
I think we got enough Americans that are going to be willing to fight, good Americans, and so I feel confident about that. And the separating the wheat from the chaff, all that, I think that's good here. How does it look in the UK as far as patriots over there?
I mean, it's horrific. We're a dying breed, and demographically, of course, we're outnumbered. I'm a minority in London, Luton, Leicester, Birmingham, Bradford, any city that you name. So whites have a limited amount of time left in the UK, and I say that not as a colour thing, but more as in a Christian culture is on the way out there. I think my Jewish friends are migrating to Israel, and my Christian friends will move to Poland and Eastern Europe, so we will pull back there. And in a way, that's a little bit why I'm infatuated with Melania, because clearly Eastern Europeans are hotter than us. So if I have to move there, that's going to be a real shit. Either that, or maybe I have to just come and be an honorary Floridian.
Do you feel that America is somewhat leading this whole thing? I have a feeling that because of our history, the whole world is sort of hoping that we are going to pull out of this and then maybe give everyone that spirit as well.
Yeah, a little of that, and there is always the look to America for hope, and I totally do that. But I also know that our network is really strong. Our network of people who America first, want to put British people first, proud patriots, nationalists. That is a strong network. You can't always see it. It's like a spider web of steel. But there's so many of us now, as I travel about this globe of ours, there's so many of us, and we are getting stronger, I know it. So actually, I think we do look to America, but we are all joined, and the family that's on our side is absolutely the best family to be part of. And I find it really uplifting every day, actually, because I know that we're on the side of the light. And, when you're doing what we do, you're never wrong. And I was with Louis Gomet's Chief of Staff the other day, and she said, because we were having a little moment of, this is hard, and she said, you just live your truth every damn day. And I think that's all we need on our side. All right, boys? Is that we live our truth every damn day, and that's a great thing.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's a political thing. The sides
it's
it's those of us that are somewhat awake and those that are completely asleep at this point, I think.
I think that's exactly right. I met a Biden supporter today who was incredibly alone and disappointed, and Biden asked for unity today, and we're united in our disappointment. Biden supporters are united in their disappointment of the inauguration, and we're united in the disappointment that America has gone this way. But ultimately, every day we live our truth. It's not about politics, and ours is the side of joy. And that's why I know we're going to win.
Exactly. That's how I know we're going to win, too. Any thoughts as to where we go moving forward?
Well, at the moment, for British people, it's a case of just trying to get through this. So I just can't. Our suicide rate is now off the charts.
And that's what's reported. Like, I keep wondering, like, there's so many people that are just hiding in their homes. God knows what kind of horror shows going on.
I've got elderly people emailing me hoping they get COVID because they just want the end to come. I've got 16-year-olds who don't want to carry it on anymore and don't know how to end it, but don't see the point in living anymore. And no one's willing to talk about it, and all the celebrities who used to be big into mental health, they've gone quiet, of course. So for my British family, it's about asking them to hold on, because fun times will come again and we just have to get to them. And for our American family and good patriots everywhere, it's about reminding them that every day we live our truth, and day by day we're going to come back stronger.
That's right. Thank you very much, Katie.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
And you too.
This is Greg Reese for Infowars.com with Katie Hopkins.